Preparing live stream.
What's up, YouTube? YouTube. I don't
YouTube.
I don't know why I always do like the Spider-Man thing. Like I think I'm pointing and then I look in the video and I'm like, my pinky's like, I think I'm
Because
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's cool, bro.
Once I go onto YouTube, I'm like, I am Spider-Man. So
Spider-Man is awesome. I love
Dah, dah. Tobey Maguire will always be my Spider-Man.
it.
Bring it on. Bring on the hate. Bring it on. Bring it on.
That's right, man. That's right.
Hmm.
All right, let's get this thing started.
Let's get this thing started. What is up, everybody? We are back for another episode of Brevity Sports. This is going to be a normal episode. We did it. We are finally getting back for a normal episode, back to our normal routine. We actually tried to meet up this week. Didn't happen. Life is crazy. It's summer. I feel like once the kids are back in school, like once things start stabilizing, summertime is just crazy.
That's what I thought once summer hit, like we'd be more free a little bit,
No.
And then it was like,
Opposite.
I know it's completely opposite. It truly is. Like we're not free at all.
I know Oliver's not of school age yet, but like if you think about the people you hang out with or the people that are out and about who have kids, right? Predominantly, somebody who probably has a kid that is of school age.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
those kids, like for me, right? Like I can't be out on a random Tuesday. I can't. I need to be home because my kids have school the next day, right? Like there's just that level of stability that's like built in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We went down, dude. We got the plague over here, man. We went down hard. In fact,
I
my
sent it
little
to
guy
you last week, I guess, through the Zoom.
Yeah. And then my little guy, the funniest thing too is that, we've really been working on, hey, buddy, like when that stuff comes up, like when you're sick, you got to get it out, right? Like you got to spit, you got to blow your nose, you got to do whatever you got to do. And he's like, Dad, it's gross. And he's the only one who hasn't done it. And now he's the only one with a fever. And it's like, Grayson, I feel bad for you. I do, but it seems slightly self-inflicted. Everybody else is recovering. Everyone else. Like last 3 days, Danielle's gotten better. Jaden's gotten better. I seriously, I had a sore throat for like a day. Like I never felt worse than that. It's still a little froggy in there, but it's working, but Grayson is just falling to pieces, man. And I'm like, dude, you gotta get this stuff out. Like, yeah, you're making it worse. There's a reason you're coughing up stuff. It needs to leave.
Gross, bro. I know.
I'm sure the listeners, that's what the listeners want to hear.
With kids, like especially he's younger and they just like, yeah, it's gross. Like, I don't want to do that. It's icky, yucky. And it's like, no. Well, yes, but also that's why you want to get it out. That's what we tell Oliver. Like, it's yucky, but get it out of you.
Right. That's it. Your body doesn't like it. It doesn't want it. Doesn't want it. How was your week? How was your week, Big Z? Talk to me.
It was more back to normal this week. Our sickness kind of left us, well, most of us, on Monday. But work was just crazy, which is good though. I've been busy, bringing people on. So it's good. It's good, man. Just some late nights, the last 2 nights at work, but that's always a good thing. I can't complain with that. And I'm just looking forward to the weekend, man. The draft is starting today. And then we're getting some work done in the house. I bought a door 3 months ago at Home Depot and it finally came in a couple of days ago. And so, because when I used to work in Oliver's room, that was like my office when I would work from home. Okay. Obviously he was born, he kicked me out. So he's down. I actually work on the other side of this camera, but he always comes in like during my meetings now and like all that stuff, cause he's like super, like he just wants to work with me, all that stuff. And like, eventually I was like, dude, I got to get a door. Like, I have to close this off now. And so finally we got this door in because it's super customized because the frame is a lot wider than a typical door frame is. And so it took 3 months to get in, but we're installing that today and all that. So that'll be cool, man. And looking forward to it and just hanging out with the fam and doing whatever we're going to do this weekend. So it's gonna be good, man.
You don't just Jim and Pam the whole situation. You don't just like, oh yeah, I'm on a sales call, but yeah, that's my kid that you hear in the background. He's actually been really sick, So we got some bills that we're really trying to pay off. Use that to your advantage. You just mentioned Big Z, the biggest thing in our show, bigger than anything going on in the NBA, bigger than anything going on in the NFL, bigger than anything going on in the MLB. We are starting our dynasty
We
draft.
are.
If you don't know what that is, people, okay, so there's two types of leagues ultimately. Now you can have different rules. You have half PPR, PPR,
Yeah.
whatever. Inside of that, you can have whatever style of league you want. You can have super flex. There's a million types of leagues out there, but outside of those is two groups. You have redraft and you have dynasty. And then once you decide that, you go into all the extra rules. Are you super flex? How many flex spots do you have? Are you playing kickers? Are you playing defenses? We are doing a dynasty league. Now, what that means is that
Mhm.
when we draft a player, they are ours until they either retire or we trade them. So this is a league that hopefully, as long as everything goes well, will be around for years and years to come. There are leagues that have been around for umpteen years of just the same guys running it back. Famously, the fantasy footballers have one. Really cool to hear them talk about it and all the players that have come and gone. So we're starting our own.
It's
Can't wait.
essentially like real life.
It's
Like this is like our
yes.
tryout for like the actual NFL. Like for our GM jobs that we're going to acquire one day. It's fun, man.
and and
The point of
yeah,
it is to keep it going like through the off season too, because like for a redraft league, it's done after your Super Bowl or your playoffs. In your fantasy league. This one, like you want to trade your draft picks, like you want it on draft day, like you want trades to be going on the whole 24/7, 365 days a year. That's
yeah,
the beauty in it. Like it doesn't ever stop. And
yep.
so like the more activity that you have, like the more like the better and the more fun it is. And so I'm looking forward to it. This is uh my third dynasty league. And so
Oof.
yeah. I'm looking I'm looking forward to it though, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. There's no way that it's not good. And you're pretty much trading. The entire season. It's amazing, very involved, big rosters, and that's the other thing I like about Dynasty. I've done one in the past, is that there's nobody you can really pick. Like there's guys who come through on the waivers that maybe there's a backup and two guys went down. You can pick up a guy like that, but
Right.
predominantly when you have a 12 man with this many roster spots, you're gonna have to trade. If somebody goes down, you're trading picks, you're trading guys. I love it. Super fun, keeps everybody involved. So we will, of course, provide an update next week with who we got, our favorite picks, some of the good teams, all that good stuff. We'll show them to you on the YouTube if you like watching that. We promised you we'd be talking some MLB, and we're going to Big Z, because the MLB has been heating up, dude. It's been heating up.
It has,
But
man.
talk to me.
It,
What do you think? What do you think? Give me some takeaways from we're in July now, right? The Phillies are hot. We know that, right? The Phillies are
yeah.
hot. They've been hot. All right. The Yankees, not so much. They were running away with their division. They've kind of cooled off.
They have,
You
yeah.
know,
I mean, what I think the biggest outlier to me, obviously, well, like I knew the Phillies would be good. I just didn't know that they would be this good. Like they just swept us, which is insane. Well, not us, the
yeah,
Dodgers. I'm sorry.
right.
And they just have like a really, really good team. But I think my biggest surprise, honestly, is the Guardians.
Yeah.
Um, I the Twins have owned that division for like the last few years.
Hmm.
I know the Royals were on the up and up this year. Like I was really impressed with the Royals offseason. They did a lot of under the radar moves to improve their pitching staff and to bring some veterans on that team on offense. But the Guardians are just doing it, man. Like I think they have the fourth lowest payroll in baseball. And Jose Ramirez is just a dog, and everyone is kind of following suit. They had Shane Bieber go down at the end of the season. He had two like lights out starts, and
Wow.
he lost. He got injured to Tommy John. They lost him for the season, and I was like, oh, their season's done. Like that's their guy. But they're just doing it, man. Like they're proving everyone wrong. They have the second best record in baseball, right? And like that's better than the Orioles, the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Brewers, the Twins, the Braves, all those guys. So that's my biggest surprise so far this season. I'm excited for the trade deadline coming up.
I mean, anybody who says like, oh well, they're in such a weak division. I mean, they're beating teams like
Oh,
the Orioles. They're beating a lot of really good teams.
but
Like they're
actually, the
playing
AL
everybody.
Central though, the AL Central is not a slouchy division this year, like it used to be. Like the Tigers are in fourth place, but they're only 5 games below 500. The only bad team in that division is the Chicago White Sox.
Which we knew. They're rebuilding. They're for
Yeah,
sure rebuilding.
but the rest
Um,
of it is like it's a good division actually. It's not bad.
I gotta say, and Mitchie's gonna love this. My surprise when I was looking through this, I'm staying American League with you. I know they're not in a playoff spot right now, but I was shocked. I thought the Boston Red Sox were just gonna suck. I I didn't love any of their big moves. I think
Yeah,
they made a couple moves, but the fact that they're sitting here 51-42, competing, they lose, when they made that Mookie Betts trade, right? They went out, they traded the Dodgers, Mookie Betts, a couple guys, but the big piece was Verdugo, who they lose to the Yankees. So I'm like, how is this going to impact them moving forward? This is not ideal for them, but they are putting it together. They are doing well, and I got to say, it's pretty surprising. And also, it's good for baseball. I love if there's a good pennant race. If there's a good pennant race down the stretch between teams like the Yankees and Boston, I know obviously Orioles are going to be there, but if
right.
that happens, man, I mean they're going to be in great position. So shout out to you, Boston fans. I love it. I did not think they were going to be that good. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
no, I feel like that's kind of been a trend the past few seasons because like they've never really done anything like in the offseason the past few years, and they're always there. They're always there, and so that's just a shout out to the organization as a whole. They're just a well-ran organization, and you see that like it's kind of like with the Spurs in basketball and like in teams like that, like there's never really turmoil there. Like you think it's going to be a bad season, but because there's so much stability on the top, it just kind of trickles down into everywhere
Yeah.
else. And Alex Cora is a good manager. So it's man. Yeah, that's definitely a good one. I'm looking forward to that too.
I mean, Tanner Hook is balling. I don't even know how to say his name. He's balling. He's having a great
Yeah,
season.
Devers, obviously.
Devers,
I
right?
mean,
I mean, the guys that they have are balling. So
Rafaela is their new rookie, like in the outfield. He's gonna be good. So yeah, man, they're coming into their own.
yeah. And then on the opposite side of that, like the bad surprise for me,
Right.
unfortunately, man, the Dodgers. If this key, I know they're injured. I know they're injured. I've seen all the posts about if you started if the injured Dodgers, if the injuries to the Dodgers were in the playoffs today, they would compete because Tyler Glass now, Yamamoto, Clayton Kershaw, Walker Buehler, the list goes on and on and on. Dustin May, list goes on and on and on for all the players that are injured. Mookie Betts is injured right now. And yet you just think like, dude, no excuses, man. Like you built the team. You still have a lot of talent. Gavin Stone has been doing big things. Um, they should look a little bit better than they do. I get it. The Phillies are really good, but to be swept by them and in two games handily. I think there was one close game that series.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
granted, the Phillies are, I feel, in my opinion, right now, the Phillies are the best team in baseball, hands
Yeah.
down. Um, but so I understand them losing that series, but again, everyone thought they were going to be better, and I think Dave does understand. I think he had a quote earlier this month saying like, "If I don't win the World Series, I'm out." And I
Yeah.
think that's exact. I think that is the standard. I don't care about the injuries. I don't care about anything else. If we cannot get to the promised land, if the Dodgers cannot get to the promised land this year, then Dave's got to be gone. He's got to be gone. There's no
100%.
other.
Yeah, man. I 100% agree with you. Like when they got Shohei, when they got Yamamoto, I mean, even the last few years when they've gotten Freddie and Mookie and all that stuff, but like this year especially, we're like, it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter if they're hurt. It doesn't matter. There's no excuses for this team anymore. Like they're just so deep that nothing else matters. Like they still have Teoscar Hernandez who's healthy, Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani. Like they have guys, Will Smith, like that by that themselves, that is a great team. Like that's an A+ team on any other team, and that would be winning, right? And so, yeah, it doesn't look good. And I agree with you 100%. Like we love Dave, like we loved him as a player on the Dodgers. I just wish he managed the way that he played, kind of scrappy, just a lot of toughness.
Right.
Always willing to get dirty. Like it just seems like, again, I just feel like there's restraints on him from above and he really can't do anything about it. But like I say, like go rogue and actually manage the team because he's just, I don't know. There's just something that's not there with him when it comes to his managing. You can just tell they're so laid back and you can't just turn on the fire in the playoffs. Like that's what they've been saying for the past few years. Yeah, we'll be fine in the playoffs. We'll be good. We'll turn it on. Doesn't work like that. It
No.
does not work like that.
No.
And so, yeah, if they don't make the World Series for sure, but if they don't win it, even I'd say he's gone.
I mean,
Like,
here's the other
this looks
thing
bad.
here's the other thing that's troubling, right? If you look at the leaders in the in every across baseball, right? Stephen Kwan, Cleveland, best batting average, right?
Right.
Chris Sale, he's got the most wins in the league, right? Aaron Judge, he's got the most home runs, right? Seth Lugo, right? He's leading in earned run average. So like the list goes on and on and on. The teams that are there, You're talking about Atlanta, the Yankees, Kansas City, Cleveland, right? We're talking these guys are going to be there in the playoffs, and
Right.
you've got to come ready. Every team
Mm-hmm.
has got to come ready for the playoffs. Whether we're talking about the Dodgers, whoever it is, you got to be ready. You got to have some sort of identity, and I don't know that the Dodgers currently have
Yeah.
an identity. I don't think the Phillies, they know their identity, man, and it's cool. It's really
Mm-hmm.
cool. They're the bad boys. The Phillies,
Right.
they're Bryce Harper, dude. You're coming to
Yep.
our town. You're coming to our city trying to beat us. There ain't no way, dude. The Orioles, they're finding their identity, right? Last night, I believe they had a benches clearing brawl with the Yankees, right?
Right. Love
They're
it.
down 4-1. Closer hits their guy in the head, and they no hesitation. I love that's their identity. Hey, we might be the little brother right now, according like we might be the little brother to win
Historically. Yeah.
historically. But man, we are here to battle. We're here to fight. And yeah, you might be bigger, you might be badder overall, but hey, we're coming for you.
Right.
We're coming for you. And we went deeper than you did in the playoffs last year anyway. So, they're
Right.
coming. You got some teams freaking building some identities, and you got some other teams going the opposite way. And if you're a Dodger fan, you're hoping you figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Padres fans, sort of in the same boat. I think they thought that they were probably going to be a little bit better than they currently are. But there's a couple years ago, the Padres was all the rage. That's all everybody wanted to talk about. Now they find themselves at 49 and 48, one game above 500. I can't
Lost
say
5
that
in a
I'm
row.
surprised. I can't say
Yeah.
that I'm surprised, Big Z, but you and I are not surprised. But I think the baseball world as a whole, I mean, this was, let's be honest, a couple years ago, this was MLB's darling, right? They had Tatis and Machado, and the average fan, all of a sudden, he started seeing Padre jerseys everywhere. What's going on down in San Diego, Big Z? I mean,
I just think like we've talked about it before, but I think it just comes down to, who's the leader in that clubhouse. Like it's Machado. And do you really want Machado being your leader in the clubhouse?
exactly.
Like there's when he came to the Dodgers, there's a lot like we have a buddy that like just absolutely adored him. And it was just like,
Come on.
dude doesn't hustle.
No.
The dude, you can tell like if you're losing and he's at bat, like he's not going to give you a real at bat.
2 weeks ago, this is the leader of your clubhouse. They're in a tight game. Third baseman gets the ball, drops the ball, gets the ball, drops the ball. Easily could have made it. Easily he could have made it, but he's walking.
Exactly.
So he was out. That cannot be your leader.
And that's your guy. And then behind him, what? You have Tatis, like who's gotten caught for cheating and also, getting injured for stupid stuff in the offseason. Like it just the list goes on and on with them. And also they tried to build their team by buying it. And a lot of people, the Dodgers also develop their players too. Like the Dodgers do it the correct way. And then when they need to spend the money, they do it. But the Padres, they're just like, yeah, let's just try to buy wins. Let's just try to buy a team, put them all together. Like that Bogarts contract looks like crap because it looks like the Red Sox were actually smart in letting him go. Like, yeah, take that. We're not going to give you that money. Like, go ahead, take it. Good for you. But you're not going to produce what that contract is saying that you're going to produce.
And you could also make an argument. This is the most bought Dodger team that we're seeing on the field right now. And it's looked the worst. Right?
Yes, exactly.
Glass now wasn't ours. Teoscar Hernandez wasn't ours. Hayward wasn't ours. Freddie wasn't ours. Mookie wasn't ours. Shohei wasn't ours. Back when it was Shohei, or back when it was Mookie, and he was surrounded by Cody Bellinger and Corey Seager and Chris Taylor and Max Muncy and Justin Turner, guys that we had brought into that Dodger culture. It looked different than it does now. You could make an argument that's why the Dodgers are struggling so much, but and a team we got to talk about as well. Man, the Mets. I mean, the highest payroll in baseball. They certainly didn't pay to be 48 and 45, and I'm sorry, there's no way that they're catching the Phillies. So you got to think, you're talking about a playoff spot. You're going to be competing with the Braves, who I don't think they catch the Braves. The good news for them is after the Braves, they're right there. They're right there with the Cardinals. They're right there. So
the Mets had an atrocious start to the season. Like it was terrible. I'm trying to look back. I can't find the historic standings, but
it was bad. It was bad.
It was bad. And so they've won since that start, they've been playing 600 baseball, which is really good. Like if you have a 600 winning percentage, you're a playoff team. And so they're finally coming into their own. I think they sneak in a wild card spot. They're 3 games above 500, which is pretty impressive for the atrocious start that they had. They're actually in the wild card spot right now, which is which is good.
4-game winning
So,
streak.
I mean, for the payroll like that you're paying, of course, yeah, you don't want to see only 3 games above 500. But how they kind of turn it around, because the way they started the season, you thought that they were just done. They were going to have a dumpster fire. Now
Right.
they're looking like they're going to be buyers at the trade deadline, which is good. Like you want the Mets to be doing well and the Yankees to be doing well, especially for baseball. And at the beginning of the season, it just looked like the Mets were metting again. Like it's a verb. The Mets are always going to met, just kind of like the Jets always jet. And it's like those two franchises. It's always been the Jets, like and the Mets. Like they're the ones
Right.
who are just kind of like the little stepbrother, like the Clippers too. And so to be honest, like I am a little impressed how they turned their season around. Lindor still not living up to that contract, but definitely doing a lot better and definitely improved his approach at the plate. Defensively, he's still there. And so they're looking, they've turned that season around. I hope they make the playoffs. I hope they sneak in on a wild
I think
card
they
spot.
will, and I think they have a chance to be a playoff team, a wild card team that nobody wants to see. More than
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
they might be a
They're
wild card
scrappy.
team.
They're
I mean,
scrappy.
their differential is already positive. They're already at plus 12, 4-game winning streak. They're doing everything that they can do. So I think they got a great shot at making it in. The Diamondbacks don't look like anywhere near what they were last year, but that's
Well,
probably who they're going to be competing with. But
but
Corbin Carroll has turned it around. Corbin
remember
Carroll,
the Diamondbacks snuck in the
he's
playoffs last year. Like
right.
this is who they are.
Right. And Corbin
Like,
Carroll's he's found it again.
yeah,
That's
he
another player
has.
who had a really atrocious start, but he is
Yeah,
back. He is
yeah.
back in a big way.
They started off slow and now they've kind of turned it around. Like they're right there at 500. Um, and that's just a team that like I don't want to see again in the playoffs as a Dodger fan. Like
I think the
that's
Braves I think the Braves make it in. I'm calling it right now. The Braves make it in. I'm giving them
yeah,
their flowers. They're a well-run organization. I got no hate for the Braves other than they're really good. And then I think the last wild card spot. Oh no, there's 3 teams in there. There's 3 teams now. So I think you're
yep,
looking at the Mets and then you're looking at the Diamondbacks.
right.
Cardinals might have something to say about that, but we'll see. We'll see down the stretch. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, man. That'll be good. That'll
So
be good.
Padres are right there, but again, I just don't like I don't like their leadership, man. I'll be honest with you. I don't like their leadership. Speaking of leadership, one of the Lakers leaders has done it. He got his son drafted to the Lakers. That was a really nice transition. Let's be honest. That was a good one.
Beautiful.
That was
Professional.
good. That was good.
Professional.
He got his son Bronny to the Bronny to the Lakers. Averaged a whopping 4 points in college, but
Awesome. Superstar.
he's here. He's here now. So let me start off by saying I understand the defense of this. I've talked to Jason the Showman Stroman a lot about this. He's a big NBA guy, and he has made me worry a little bit less. He goes, look, typically where Bronny was taken, he is that guy pans out or they don't. Like it's very rare for you to find a stud in that
Yeah.
round.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. Having said that,
Cool.
the
Yeah.
Lakers
Awesome.
then immediately do the one thing I didn't want them to do, because honestly, at this point, I'm starting to feel a little bit bad for Bronny. And I'll tell you why. I understand people are like, well, he just made $8 million. Why do you feel bad for the kid? That's not it. Like, obviously, when I say feel bad, like here through the lens of you're a professional athlete, I never feel bad for them. It's very rare for me to actually feel bad for a professional athlete. Like, you're making money playing a game that you love to play. I don't want to hear it. Regardless, Bronny, I thought this is an opportunity for him to be treated normally. After he was drafted, I was like, okay, you probably got drafted over your other buddy from USC who had way better stats than you. It's fine because of your dad. Okay, now let's normalize this thing. Like and I understood his agent was saying, no, he's not going to play in the G League. He's not going to be sent down. He's got to be in the NBA, whatever it is. I'm like, okay, just have him ride the bench. Don't give him a contract. Just have him ride the bench. Have him be a team player. Have him play on the practice squad. He'll get better. LeBron's DNA is in there. Like maybe we can awaken it. He might be the dog. Like I don't know, but let's just see what happens. And then immediately give him a deal, a 4-year, $8 million deal. And
Guaranteed.
I think this is terrible for Bronny. I really do, because now anyone who wants to hate, here's your ammo. It's like, not only did we go draft this kid who didn't deserve to be drafted, which like, okay, maybe I can make my peace about it. We don't really get studs in that round, whatever. It's all good. But then you give him guaranteed money where no one in that round gets guaranteed money. Not a soul, especially not multiple years. Usually you pay on a 1-year deal, right? At the minimum. That's typically what happens. You're just putting a target on your back. You're giving, at this point now, it's like Bronny, he has to develop much faster than he otherwise would have needed to do, in my opinion, because of this deal. And I could see LeBron coming out like, it's like the same thing as before the season where he's like, hey man, just let him be a college kid. Like, no, LeBron, you did this. You came out to the media and you said he could be a starter on the Lakers tomorrow. You did that. You put the target on his back. You put the pressure on him. And now the same exact thing has happened, right? He got drafted. There's already a little bit of target. There's already a target. Let's be honest. Getting drafted, there was already a target. And now, here's $8 million guaranteed. Here's this whopping target of it's just let him. I agreed with LeBron when he said, just let him be a kid. Let him be a kid. That's not what you're doing, though. That's not what you've done, and it's not what you're doing, Big Z.
Well, LeBron has a history of, contradicting himself all the time. Like he says one thing, but his actions dictate the complete opposite. And for those of you saying, oh, well, there's no studs in the second round, Nikola Jokic was a second round pick. So I'll just give that as a rebuttal.
That's huge.
And also, I don't like the people there's because you're just trying to defend. You're just trying to put, you're trying to suffocate that fire, right? I don't care what you're going to say about this. You cannot defend this. And all the people saying, oh, well, nepotism is rampant in pro sports. It happens all the time. That's not the point. That's not why people like me and actual Laker fans are angry. It's because LeBron clearly runs this organization. He has a stranglehold of Genie Bus. And I've talked about it many, many times. The Lakers are catering to LeBron's every need. And it's not like LeBron is 31 anymore in his prime. LeBron is going to be 40 years old this season. And they are going to him and his age and say, what can we do to keep you, LeBron? Because for some reason, they feel like they're only going to be the Lakers if they keep LeBron on their team. He has dictated every single thing that has happened this season. He is the puppeteer, and they're just on his strings. Look, they brought in JJ Redick. Do not tell me that is not a LeBron move.
I love his comment to that too. We didn't talk about it. Shut up.
We didn't talk about stop line. And you can, if actually you hear the press conference, like you hear the groaning in the background from all the people, from all the reporters.
Oh my God. You guys are on a podcast together.
Like,
shut up. You didn't talk about it. Come on, son.
It's silly to me that they're trying to put out there that LeBron has had nothing to do with the coaching search. LeBron has had nothing to do with Bronny James, and that he has earned that Bronny James earned his spot on this team. That is a slap in the face to all those other guys that were averaging way more points, way more rebounds, way more assists, that were actually efficient in college. He was the 7th best player on a really crappy USC team that did not sniff the NCAA tournament. And yes, last year he had his heart thing. I feel bad for him. And it probably delayed a lot of his development in the college game.
Right.
But it doesn't, at this point, it doesn't matter. You had other guys available, and you do not tell me that 4 points a game, averaging 4 points a game, earned you a spot on the Los Angeles Lakers. So no, it's not the nepotism. It's not that, oh, well, no one really pans out. So it's just like, we're just going to take a shot in the dark in the second round. No. If you draft correctly, you can find gems in the second round, right? And so stop. It's about LeBron controlling the Lakers. That's why I'm so upset about it. That's it. Because yes, I know there's nepotism in the league. I know there's all this other stuff. It happens. But it's about who's really in control of the Lakers, who's calling the shots here. And it's not the front office. It's LeBron. And that's why we want to escape, because every single time he's done that for every other single team, they're in shambles when he's gone, because he brings in all of his guys, he leaves, and then there's nothing left. And
nothing.
It's rebuilding from
Look
the
at
rubble.
Cleveland. Look at Cleveland. Look at Heat for
Miami.
years. It took Jimmy Butler. It took Jimmy Butler going over there. Right. You got Bam, Jimmy. Now they rebuilt. They've done it. But for years, they were not good. They were not good, especially with the first round pick. I love the Dalton Connect pick. I loved that pick. I thought it was a fantastic pick.
Great pick.
So the idea that, I agree with you, Big Z, in a lot of ways. And I got to say, it's like you made such a great point right now. This is not LeBron in his 20s. This is not prime LeBron. This is LeBron in his 40s, hoping he can make it through a season. That's what we're looking at. And we're going to let this guy dictate what we're doing anywhere in the organization. There's just no way. There's just no way.
Yeah. There you go.
Let's land this plane, Big Z. We did it. We got through a full episode. We nailed it. We finally got here. Maybe we'll come out with another one. Well, we're gonna start pumping them out, man. We're gonna start pumping them out for you, the people, especially as we get closer to the NFL. we love talking us some football.
We
So
love some football. It's coming up. Training camp starts today for the Ravens.
training camp starts today. Big Z, say bye to the people.
All right, guys. We have a draft to do today, and we're going to come at you guys next time with our teams. And me and Fredo's team are obviously going to be the best teams in the league.
Lamb.
By far. CD Lamb, first pick for you. Let's go.
Let's go.
But hope you guys have a good week. Hope you guys enjoy the episode. Next week is a home run derby. That's Big Z's favorite pastime, watching that. So watch it with me in spirit. And let's just enjoy it. But yeah, love you guys. Thanks for everything.
Love you guys. Thanks for joining. Thanks for listening. Check out our YouTube. Keep following, keep listening, keep watching. We really appreciate all the support.